everybody, this is Pat in the paper closet. Today I'm going to be showing you how we're going to work on our photos. I had told you in the last video we would do this type, where you can have a white background and a smaller photo on the bottom or the side, and then you can add all your journaling onto your photo with little decorations, little embellishments. And they look very nice, and it's nice to have different types in your album. Now this is the album I've been working on for a while. I'm not quite finished, but I've added quite a bit. What do I add? Here we go, I added another flip up. This one goes up, and then our page comes out like this. Or you can leave it flipped and turn it this way. I have different types of these photos that I'm showing you. These are almost what I'm showing, but these I put on a mat because they're taken in and out of the album. This way they won't get messed up. This type, without a mat on the back, they're a little fragile. But you have the back, journaling, more photos. This album I've calculated so far can hold about 140 photos. Let's see if I've added anything else. I think I showed you this. I still have to do a few more flip outs, but not too many. I haven't filled it all in with photos yet, but it's getting a little chunky. It's filling up. So when it's closed, as you can see, we have quite a bit in there, but there's more room. We can bring it out more. So I want to add a lot more photos in here. I did add the front pocket. I don't know if I showed you that. The back, I haven't done the waterfall yet on this, but I'll be finishing that up. So it's almost done. Now any photos I put in here, they're not glued in, they're on with removable tape, because I'm not sure what I'm going to use this album for yet, but I just wanted to show you what the photos look like. These were the first ones that we did, with the black trimmer on them and the gray background, and our little journaling on the bottom, text, dates, descriptions. That's a blank one. So I'm gonna fill this all up. You'll see what it looks like with photos in it, and I'll keep working on it. Here are a few more that are onto the, I printed the photo and put it on a mat, and that's what they look like. This one I had printed the photo before I did this, put it on a mat, and then I just added a little journaling spot here. So you try to make them all look a little bit different. You don't want them all looking the same. So I'll keep filling this in. In the meantime, please stay with me because I'm going to take you over to my computer. I'm going to show you how in our free software, how we can create these photos. Okay, so I'll be right there. I'm going to move over to my computer. Okay, here we are on my computer. I'm in my Silhouette Studio free software. And today we're going to be making this template. It's always much easier if we make a template first, and then we don't have to make it ever again. We just put in the pieces. So I'm going to again go over with you how to download the software in case you missed the last video. Let me see if I can get to, there we go. You're going to go to www.silhouetteamerica.com. I hope you have a piece of paper and a pencil because I have a few websites I want to give you. You're going to go to where it says software. This is to download it now if you don't already have it. You're going to go to Get Software. Wait for the page to load. All right, here where it says download, click on this arrow on the right. If you have a newer Windows computer, either a laptop or a desktop, it's probably 64-bit. I'm running Windows 10, which I know is 64-bit. I think an older laptop or computer might be running 32-bit. And if you have a Mac, you just click this one. So if you're clicking 64-bit, now here it's going to show you up here, pay attention. This is where it's going to download to. This would be your default folder that's set on your computer. Mine says this PC, that's what my main folder is. Under there is a folder called downloads. So this is what it's going to save. I think I downloaded it again on my computer. Ah, okay. That's okay. Let's just go to, I want to show you how to install it. Go to your downloads folder. See, it says the same thing as said before on top. This PC downloads. Now this is the one, actually it's this one because I did it twice. This is the folder, the file. It's called SS Silhouette Studio version 4.5 dot blah blah blah. Has .exe at the end, meaning it's an installation file that will run. So you will double click on it. Oh, no, I lost it. There it is. You'll double click on this and it will open up the program to install it onto your computer. My computer's playing games. Let's see. Oh, you see, because I already have it running. Let's see, is this it? Here it is. This is what you'll see after you double click on your icon here. Welcome to the Silhouette Studio Setup Wizard. You'll click Next. It's going to tell you where it's going to put it on your computer. It's going to make a folder under Program Files called Silhouette America, Silhouette Studio. Now I already have this on my computer, so I'm not going to hit Next. But you would hit Next. It will start to install. It may come up with one window asking if you want to make changes to your computer, so just say yes. And then let it finish. And when it finishes, it will automatically open. Now I already have this, so I'm going to get out of here. Cancel. No. Back. I'll just close the box. This is what you'll have when mine says interrupted. Yours will say finished. But here it says finish at the bottom. So yours will automatically, it should open to Silhouette Studio, which will look like this. You will just have a sheet of paper on a blank screen. Now you're going to have to, if you've never used this before, you have to go to Page Setup up here in the corner. Now the machine, I pick Cameo because I have a Silhouette Cameo. So if you don't have a machine, just pick the same as I. You can use it without a machine, that's no problem. Cutting mat, we're not going to use a mat because we're not cutting. We're just using the print board. Media size, I always pick letter because 8.5 by 11 is all you can print, unless you have a wide format printer, which I don't. So we're working with letter 8.5 by 11. I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom. Nothing else gets changed in here. This box right here, see where it says show print border? I'm going to increase my screen a little bit so you can see this. When I click on show print border, watch what happens on the page. Did you see the border come up? You notice there's a fine line border all around the edge. That is your border. That's the limit to which you cannot print outside of this border. So keep everything you're making inside these borders. It goes all the way around the page. It's a little bit lighter than the rest of the lines. Okay, let me get back to the regular size. Okay, we had that set up. So now what you want to do, you want to make these boxes. This is what you're going to work on every time you do your photos. They're 4x6, and that's what you're going to use. I always print on a full sheet of 8.5 by 11 inch, either photo paper, or you can print on cardstock or any other good quality paper that you have. I usually print them on photo paper. All right, so now this is your page. Now in order to make our 4x6 box, you're going to go over here to the drawing tool. The first box there says draw a rectangle. Click once. Now it changes to a little, I don't know if you can see it moving on the screen. It's a little hairline white circle. Hold it down and drag it any size. Now go back up here. We want to get out of the drawing mode back to our selection mode. So now we have our box. We're going to go up here. We know what size we want it. And we're going to unlock this lock. And we're going to change this. See the number up here, the width. I'm backspacing 4.00. Then I'm going to go into the height box, the H, backspace to the dot. And we want no backspace all the way. We want this 6.00. We want a 4x6 photo. Now we're going to hit enter. Okay, it's made our photo 4x6. You can see the dimensions around the outside. Now we're going to lock this box again, so it stays at that size. Okay, now in order to use this, we're going to move it onto our mat. I'm going to fill this in with white, just so I don't confuse you. This is our fill box up here, the color. Right now it's transparent, it's showing all these lines in it. So if I click it, make it white, see the white box here. Now it's a white filled in box, but it also has a red line around it, which you don't want because you don't have a cutting machine. The red lines are for cutting. So we're going to go to this second little box up here that shows a square, a rectangle, that's in red. Click on that. Now we're going to change this to black. Now this is going to give you a little line around it when you print so that you know where the photo is to cut. Otherwise you would just have a whole white sheet of paper with little things drawn on it. Be a little hard to cut it out. So that's our photo. Now we're going to want 3 of these on this page. So we already have it highlighted. We're going to go up here to edit. We're going to go to duplicate. Now we have 2 of them. We can fit 2 inside of this print border. So I'm going to zoom in, which is this little plus up here on the top. Helps us to zoom in so we can see it closer. Click off. And this one I'm going to move a little bit closer to the border. I'm going to move to the right using this bar at the bottom. This one is also pretty close to that print border. So I'm going to, using my arrows, I'm going to just move it very little to the left. So it's off the border. Okay. Now in order to make it easier for you to cut out, we're going to make both of these line up so they're even. So you can just cut across that page. So I've clicked on this one, hold down my shift key. Wait, let me redo it. Click on the first one. Hold down my shift key, click on the second one. Now I'm going to go up here to our align box. And we're going to align, not right, align top. You see the little tag that comes up at the bottom? It says align top. Click on that. Now your photos are both even at the top. So when you go to cut out your photos, you can just cut across here. Either with your paper trimmer or your scissors. It makes it a lot easier to cut them out. All right, well now we're gonna go back to fit to window so we can see what we're doing. Now we have two this way. We have room on the bottom for one more. We're gonna click on it, right click on your mouse and hit duplicate. Bring it down here. And you see this little green button? That rotates it. So we're gonna hold it down and rotate to the left. Try to get it even. Now let's see. I'm gonna put it along this line just so I can see if it's even or not. I'm gonna zoom in using the plus. I'm gonna move my screen. That looks very even. No, it's a little off. Not straight. So in order to straighten this, we're gonna go back to our little green dot. We're gonna hold down the shift key and press the dot. I missed it. There. It automatically straightens it on the line. By pressing the green dot, you hold your shift key down first, press the dot, and it will line up your rectangle. Okay, click on the rectangle, then move it down a little. Then that go back to fit to window. Now all of these are 4x6, so you have 3 photos on one sheet. Just to make things a little bit easier on the cutting, again, I'm going to move this photo even with the side of this one. So it cuts straight down. I'm going to click on this top one on the left. I'm going to hold the shift key, click on this bottom one. I'm going to go back up here to the align. And I want to align left. I want them both even on this edge. Now they're even, they're lined up. This one is even with this one. This top is even with that top. So we're good on that. Now we're going to, at this point, I think you should save it. This is the template you're going to use every time you want to make photos like this. So we're going to put a half a photo down here. And now journaling up here. This one, you can do it the same way if you wish, or you can make it a landscape by putting photo on this side. It would be turned to the left, of course. Then your journaling would be up here, over here. And this would be the same. Your photo would be down here, or you could put on the top, with your journaling on the bottom, or you could put the photo on the bottom and the journaling on the top. Okay, I'm going to bring in a photo, but first we're going to save this. This is your template. So you're going to go up here to File, going to go to Save As, Save to hard drive, that's important, so you can find it again. Give it a second. Now this is where it's saving mine. I know where this is. Pay attention to where your folder is. If you don't already have a folder to put these in, somewhere on your computer or on your external drive, as I have here. I know mine is under Projects, under in the paper closet. Then I have Mini Album Elements, Mats and Photos, Silhouette, Templates. There it is. Now this is page 001B. I explained the system of saving them the other day. Here it is right here. Here's our templates for the first ones that we did, these photos. So here was 001A template, and here is page 001A001. So that each time you make a new page of new photos, you can save it and have it for later on. That's probably a bit confusing, but this is what we're working on now. Here's our 001B template, we're calling this. So you would, down here, you'd put page 001B template, and it will save as a Studio 3 file. I already have this, so I'm going to cancel. Now here's mine. Now you'll notice here I added a few little tags that I could use on my photos. To make these, I'm going to go to our shapes drawing tool, and I go to the oval, click on it. It's turned to our little hairline circle, and we're going to make an oval. Doesn't matter what size. Now I'm going to click back on our arrow up here at the top on the left to get out of the shapes mode. And I just want to check how big I've made this one. It's about 2 1/4 by, say, 1 1/4. All right, get back on your oval. Go up here on the top. Now we're 2 1/4 inches high. So in the height, I'm going to change it to 2.25. And our width is it's bigger than I thought. You know what it was? I must have highlighted the text and not the oval. So the width is about 3 1/2. So I'm going to change that to 3 1/2. We're going to hit enter, and it's changed the size. Now that is much bigger than I had down here. 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. No wonder. All right, we could change it. 2 1/4 by width 1.25. 1.25. Hit enter. There, that's more like it. Okay, now we're going to lock this lock up here so that it stays that size. And you'll see if we kept it this size, we want to use it on one of our photos. It would be a good size. You put your photo down here. You could put something up here in this oval. Whoops. Undo. Excuse me. I'm trying to get this in the middle a little bit more. There. So you could type some text in here, a date, a name, whatever. Your photo would be down here, say halfway, and then you would still have room here for any text you want to put in there. Now we're not printing that directly on our photo. We're going to make this a separate little embellishment. So I'm just going to delete that one. Once you've made your oval, again, you're going to have to change the fill. You'll have little checkers over here. You'll change it to white. And you'll change your line color to black. This way you'll see where to cut it out. You'll have to fussy cut that with your scissor. Now text will be the same as we did on our last photos. I'm going to close this out of the way. Now I wanted to show you where you can get this font. If you don't have it on your computer and you like this font, I can show you where to get a lot of free fonts. Let me take you to that website. And this is called www.dafont.com, DAFONT. Now, in order to find, if you wanted the script that I was just showing you, the text, the font, I'm sorry, it's called JANDA. And it has many types of fonts, as you're going to see. Now, these are all made by the same, no, they're not made by the same person. These are all made by the same person. There are many different types. The one I've used, which comes out pretty well on our photos, is, where is it? Page 2. See the little 2 over here? turning. Here we go. Now, here it is. John the Cheerful Script. Now don't go downloading too many fonts because it's going to fill up your computer. If you see fonts that you really, really like, that you think you would like to use, then you download them. See over here, it tells it this is free. Oh, where'd it go? Free for personal use. So you just download it onto your computer. Click the download button. Let's see if my computer's going to cooperate. Seems not to be loading too well. There we go. And once again, notice up here where it's going to save it to. My same folder, this PC downloads. And this is what it will download it as. It would be a zip file. Now, of course, I already have this, so I'm not going to download it again. But you would download it. And then once it's downloaded, you go to your downloads file. And I'm not sure I have it in here. But this is where you'll find it. It will say John the Cheerful Script.zip. Now, when it says zip on it, here I have different folders that are zip files. Let's see if it is in here. Now I've moved it. But anyway, it'll look like this with a zipper on it. If you right click on it, give it a minute. Over here on the left, it says extract all. You would click on that. Now this is where it's going to put it in the same folder, but it will no longer be zipped. So then you hit extract at the bottom. And now you should have, it had to be in here because it did it for me. If I can find it. Well, anyway, I don't think I had the file in here. Here's the zip file, so I did have it. Let's see. Sorry, I have too much stuff in my folder. Anyway, you will have, if I go to a different view, you will find it. Details. Anyway, you'll have a file that says John the Cheerful Script. IJ. No. Here's my zip file, but I don't see my unzipped file. Date modified, let's see. No. You put it somewhere else. I'm trying to explain this. Let's see. So you will have a folder here. It will say John the Cheerful Script. And that's what it will say. It won't say .zip at the end. You'll click on it. You'll have another file over here. It will say John the Cheerful Script TTF, I believe it is. So if you double click on that, it'll open up a box that will say install font. So you just install it. You'll give it a minute. It's going to install it on your computer. And then it should be in your list of fonts. You see here I have this list. Now you may have to reopen Silhouette in order for it to come in. Oh, my computer's not cooperating. I'm sorry. Give it a minute. I think I have to close up some of the stuff I have open. Yeah. I'm going to close up thefont.com and silhouetteamerica.com. We're not up to that one yet. Here we go. When you open up your fonts folder, see this little arrow? Here's a list of all the fonts that are installed on your computer. So here you see right there, it says Jonda Cheerful Script. That's what you'll see after you install it. You have to install the font on your computer before you can use it. And you may have to close Silhouette and reopen it in order for your new font to be in your list. So just make sure you have your template saved in your folder, right down where you put it, and close Silhouette, reopen Silhouette, open your template, and then you can use your new font. Sounds confusing, but it really isn't. I don't think I explained that too well. But anyway, so now you have fonts. So as we did in our other, in this series with the photos, we're going to save a sample of this font so that you don't constantly have to load it again. So what you're going to do, you're going to go to this A over here. That's going to give you the little eye on your screen. You're going to open up open up the flashing icon, and you're going to type something in there. Now I just used the name of the script of the font. Jonda Cheerful Script. Okay, click off it. Click on it again. Put your cursor at the end of the typing that you just did. Hold it in so you've got the whole thing highlighted. Now we can, again, we're going to have to change our colors. Now up here in this box again, the fill box, you see the crosshairs. We want this to be black. Black is always this little box at the end. And we've got that. Now we want the line color. We don't want it red. Can you see the little red lines there? We want this black. Okay, so now our font, oh, we didn't change it, did we? Put a cursor at the end again. Double click. Go into our list of fonts. Look for, they're in alphabetical order. So get to the J. Almost there. There we go, we're in J. Jonda Cheerful Script. That's the one we want. Just click on it once. And it changed. Oh, I had caps lock on. No wonder I've been having trouble. I'm sorry, folks. Let me redo that. ENDACHEE. Oh, script. Now it looks better. That's more like it. Well, that's very large. We don't want it that large for our photo. We're going to take the box in the corner, bring it down a bit, and that would be probably even still too big on a photo. Yeah. All right, so now we have the box all set up for our font. And that's what I have saved over here. This box right here. So anytime I want to use this script now, right click on it, duplicate, take the copy, and this is what I would change on my photo. Never take this one off the list, or you're gonna have to start all over with the colors and the size. This way you always have it ready. That's about the size I would put if I were putting journaling on here. Okay. What else have I not showed you? We'll get to this one later. I want to show you how to bring in your photo so that you can resize it. You're going to go to your folders at the bottom here. Go to your folder where you have the photo in that you want to use. Mine is under Maps and Photos. Photos. I'm going to use the same ones we used the other day. So we're going to, up here in the right-hand corner, you just want to restore down. This way you can see your photos on your screen with Silhouette Studio. We'll just bring in this one again. All the way to the left. Let it go. There, loaded big. Always comes in very big. Don't close this folder, just minimize it. This photo with the photos in it. So it's out of our way. Now we're gonna hit minus up here, bring it down. Now that's how big the photo comes in. We're gonna resize, hold the corner, drag it in. Never use these side buttons, either on the sides or the bottom. Never use the middle buttons because that'll distort your photo. Now this is still way too big for our photo mat. All right, move it over here closer. Now we're gonna hit fit to window. There, now we can see. Now this photo, in order to put it in here, we would have to crop it. This is not gonna fit over here. This is a portrait photo. We wanna make it landscape. So we can either crop it down. We would highlight the photo, go to Object, go to Modify. Crop is not lighting up for us. Why not? It's not going to let us crop our photo. Object, Modify. No. Let's go over here to our, let me find it first. Let's trace, replicate. I can't find Modify. Here it is. Open the Modify panel. It's right under this little asterisk over here on the right. Let's see if we can do it through that. Here it says Modify. We want Crop. It's giving us a little hint. Select two or more shapes and remove all areas. That's it. Okay. So what we have to do is make a rectangle. Let's see. Shrink this up. I don't think we can crop this without cutting up half the photo. We'll only have the upper half of her body. So this one we could use if we're going to make a landscape photo. We could turn it this way. Where we would have the photo on this side of the 4x6. We could make it a little bigger. And then we would have all this room. So actually we need a landscape photo on this side. Let me get this one. Let's go to our folder. See if I have a landscape photo. Something I can cut up. Let's try my book. I'm going to drag this over on the left. It's loading. Came in very big. Let's minimize our folder. Going to hit the minus up here to make the whole thing smaller so we can see. Going to move over our photo. Now we're going to make it smaller, much smaller. Bring it next to our template and hit fit to window. And it's still big, but we're going to crop it. Let me get this out of our way. We're going to go over here to our shapes. We're going to get a rectangle and start drawing a rectangle about where we want it to start, because we're going to crop our photo out of this. So we want it about like that. Bring the top down. Oh, I lost my rectangle. Delete that. Start over. Make a rectangle. All right, can you see this red line going around here? That's what it's going to cut our photo down to. Now we're going to highlight both. Oops, we have to go to our arrow, get out of the shape mode. Highlight both of these together. Now we can go back to our modify under the asterisk over here. Now we can hit crop, and there it is. So it's cropped our photo for us. So if we want it to fit on this photo, there we go. So now it's fitting in our picture. We can even it out a little bit with our arrows. Now up on top, we can just put our script. Okay, double click on the script. Now let's make this bigger so we can see what we're doing. Letters in there. Let's see, we'll put a date. What's today? February 7th, 2023. I know I have an extra letter in there somewhere. There it is. At the end. You can also use your arrows to move around in your text. Well, usually. Let's make this bigger. We can really see where we're at. We want after the J. Sometimes it's a little finicky. See, it's not deleting my J. I don't know why. Okay, let's go back to fit to window. Close up this box. We don't need that anymore. We have our photo cropped. I'm going to totally take this whole font box out of here. Take the one I already had. Duplicate. Move it back over here. Make it bigger so you can see what you're doing. Very big script. Alright, now click off it and then double click. Now you want the I at the end. There we go. I don't know why I had a letter left before. February 7th, 2023. Now you could do a whole box of journaling in here. I suggest doing it one line at a time. In other words, right click on this one, duplicate, move it down, undo. Make sure you're picking the right thing. There it is. Oh, start over here and make my text box a little bit wider to the end. Ooh, no, I'm stretching my text. I have to do that in this mode. There. So now you can fill this in with text. I don't have a regular photo here. What can I put? This is a book called Timeless Memories. Made in early 2000s. Now, do you see what it just did? That's not what I wanted to do. I wasn't paying attention. Click off it. Make sure you got the right box selected here. I see what it did. It's not working today, folks. What I did was, you have to pay attention when you're typing, because when I got to the end of this line, I didn't want it to keep going. I want to click off it. Here's where I could resize it a little. I want to right click and duplicate. This way I can adjust the space between my lines. Okay, now I would double click again, put my cursor at the end, then I would continue. I have to pay attention to when I'm typing, where I am on the screen. This is a book called Timeless Memories. Made in early. Now again, I'm almost to the end, so I don't want to keep typing. I'll go, and it'll automatically move over. Click off, click on, duplicate. Highlight it and move it down here. I want it up a little bit. Double click, get my cursor at the end. Two thousands. All family memories. Oops. Okay. This way, see my space. If you had automatic, let it do automatic spacing, it would put a bigger space in between. This way I adjust the spacing that I want. But that's how I would do that photo. Let's get rid of this box. Now this one, you want to put your journaling on this side. So it's going to copy this line. I can highlight it. Right click, duplicate, highlight again, drag it over here. And with a little green button, we're going to turn it. Not too straight, but oops, I moved my photo. Did you see that? Undo. Undo again. There, back where it was. And I'm going to hold my shift key down, press the green button, and it should straighten this out. There. So now here I have my text, but I want this centered. So I'm going to double click. No, I'm not going to shrink it. I'm just going to move it. Thank goodness for the undo button. Make sure you got your box highlighted before you try to move it. I actually want it centered. So I'm going to shrink this box up. And center it right there. So do you see what I'm doing? The photo now, this would be a landscape photo. If you turned it to the right, it would be the right way. We could not crop this photo because I would have had to cut it right here, possibly right here through the middle of her body. That wouldn't work too well. So you would put whatever text you want to type in this one, describing this photo, and then let's say fit to window. We would do the same thing on the bottom one. Now this one, if you wanted to make it the same way, if you want to make it landscape, you would put your photo over here and your text would be here. But if you want to make it portrait, as this one is, you would put your photo down here at the bottom and your text would be over here going sideways. So you could actually duplicate one of these lines and put it over here and then do your text. Now if you wanted to add, say you have a little embellishment somewhere, I have these little things that they say family memories. I'm going to show you how to drag them into your picture. I'm going to go to PNGs. I have a little folder that has, they have to be PNGs, meaning the background is transparent. So I have little things here that I could put on my photos. How about some flowers? Pull it over. Readjust it. There I can have a little bouquet of flowers on my photo. Now I want you to notice, you see the lines on this photo, they're red. Again, we could go over here and turn them black, and they look just fine. Let's bring it in. There, no more red lines, and it's a transparent background, meaning it could go in front of anything. You could put it on the photo in the corner, but it has to be a PNG with a transparent background. The JPEG will not work. The JPEG will have an extra white box around it, which would be this size. So you would have this big white box on your photo. So always look for transparent PNGs. Now I'm going to show you where you can get some, let me get this back to size, free PNGs. Now hit duplicate. I think I still have the window open, yes. This is a site called www.digitalscrapbook.com. Now it's a free site. You do have to create an account. I believe it's just your name and a password. Excuse me. But every day, you see up here, I have 0 free downloads because today I already downloaded my 5 free ones. You get 5 free downloads every day. They don't add up, so if you don't use them for a day, then they're gone. You always get 5. Let me show you an example. Go to graphics. These are free premium graphics. and freebies. It was a better way of getting to them. Digital scrapbooking? No. All right, we'll stay here in graphics. Now you can pick things by name, elements, embellishments, word art. So I would say pick a project. Say you're doing your photos for a certain event, and it's, I don't know, a birthday? No. Let's see, do we have birthday over here? No. Okay, so we brought in our flowers. And let's see what else we can bring in. Any PNG that you can get from the place I just showed you, digitalscrapbook.com. Say you want to put a bow on it. I have a PNG of a bow. Drag it here. Put it on a photo. Using our green button, we turn it. And it looks pretty good. Plus it's big. We'll have to make it smaller. That'll look cute. I'll move it up here. Put it over here on this side. And then we can put our text down here. Now I have all these little phrases I've saved. I like to put them on my photos. I put it at the bottom. Make it small. This one says family memories. I have this one says, I'm saying make it bigger. Says, live every moment, laugh every day, love beyond words. Sometimes I put that at the bottom. Make it very small. What else? And that's about it. So now you would have your 3 photos. I didn't fill this one in. Like I said, you could make it either this way or this way. Pick your photo, pull it on, shrink it, put it on your mat, on your photo, turn it whichever way you're going to use it. You may have to crop it. Remember how we cropped it? Putting it over here, getting a rectangle, putting the rectangle over what we want to keep, going to modify, and then hitting crop. And that way you can crop a photo to put it either on the bottom here, or, well, this one you don't have to crop. It'll just be on the left-hand side as a landscape photo. And that would be all there is to it. And now if you wanted to save this one so that you could reprint it again at a later date, I have saved it as, let's see, what do I have here? These are my photos. I saved it as page 001B because our first one was A, the one that we did with the pictures of what I had made in the first video. Embellished Photos 01. This is Embellished Photos 02. So we're going to name this page 001B, and then I put a number after it. Being that this is the first group of photos you've made, you call it 001. So then the next time you come in, open your template, put in your new photos and your text, and you'll save it as 001B-002. And then all these will be on your computer. Now you can always open these at a later date and just print them if you want. So I'm just going to close this and show you how to do that. I'm not saving my changes because mine are finished. Let's close. What do I have here? I don't have a box to close. Oh. Okay, sorry about that. Now I've closed Silhouette Studio. Now if I wanted to go out and print another copy of that same photo, we would get to where we have our templates and our photos, your folder. See, here was the first one we had done with the black outlines and the gray background. This is the second group. No, that's the second group I made with you. Here's our B template. 001B is the blank white maps. And this is the one that you just made. Your photos would be in here, not mine. So you double click on it, give it a minute. It will open Silhouette Studio for you. There it comes. Now this is free software, you don't pay for this. You're free to design in it whatever you want. Give it a second to open. Okay, now it's going to load in that photo that we picked. See, this would be, your photos would be in here that you just created, and you did your text and you brought in your PNGs. And now to print, you go to File, go to Print, and this is just as it appears on the screen. This is all it's going to print, nothing that was on the outside of your photo. Your 3 photos with your text, your little PNGs that you put in there. And that's how they're going to be set up on your photo page. Here's the print border. You can see it right there. We're inside that good. So now you hit print on this page. And this is going to open up. You pick your printer. I have a Smart Tank 7000 HP. Then you click on Preferences. Now this is where it gets different for every printer. See mine here, this is my setup. But I want to make sure borderless is turned off. If it were borderless, it may print right off your paper. You might not get the whole photo on there. So you never want borderless on. You always want this off. My paper type, I would be printing this on probably glossy inkjet paper. But I suggest you print it on copy paper first. So you pick matte inkjet, put it on best, load a piece of copy paper in your printer, and then you hit print, and it will print out your photos, your 3 photos on your copy paper. When you see that it's fine, printing fine, they're all lined up properly, then you can go back and change the paper to glossy inkjet, other glossy inkjet. Make sure the quality is on best and borderless is off. Load your glossy photo paper in your printer, whichever way it's supposed to be loaded. Some are glossy side up, some are glossy side down. And then you would hit print and let it print on your photo paper. And then you take it out and you cut on your lines, either with a scissor or with a paper trimmer, and you're all set. After making a few, you'll get the hang of it. The text is a little bit tricky. You just have to watch, make sure your boxes are highlighted before you try moving anything. And try to make each line a separate text line. That way you can get your line spacing even and closer together than they put it automatically. I'm just going to cancel this because I don't have paper in my printer. And I think that's it. I've showed you everything. I showed you where to get your fonts for free. I showed you where to get some PNG graphics for free. I showed you how to install the Silhouette Studio software, how to set up your template, then use your template to make your first photos. I showed you how to print. So I hope this works for you. It's always nice to have different types of photos in your album, not all just printed photos. Makes it more interesting. Okay, so until next time, thank you. Please subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified when we have the next version up. We'll be doing Embellished Photos number 3. Okay, so hope you come back. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye.